Greetings! Anton here with a little shorter of a H3VR devlog for you today. We got a couple things to go over. I've got some news related to MeatMiss, some stuff to talk about with ModMiss, which don't know if you've heard of that before, and also to talk a little bit about user content tools and the progress we're making with the game right now, headed towards 1.0. Let's start with that one. So I don't have a build for you this week, and the reason for that is we're in the middle of a slightly scary migration of a whole bunch of the backend code in-game for handling all of the data types that Take and Hold runs on. The character, the take challenges, the hold challenges, equipment pools, the characters you play, etc. Nathan has been working on the sort of like content tool side of it. I have been modifying a bunch of things all across the Take and Hold game mode to prepare them to be able to load all of that content, custom content, so you can design characters and progressions and things like that. It's going great, but things are a little Humpty Dumpty in pieces right now, so I can't push a build right now because things would just be super busted. But it should be back together next week. Nothing should really be changing on the user end aside from some things getting cooler in menus here and there. But yeah, so that's the stage that is all at. As for MeatMiss, because of the work that we're doing and the fact that 1.0 is now happening next year and a whole bunch of stuff is in progress, and so much of what we try to do is we work on the game, advance the game, is to make sure that the incredibly rich library of content made by the mod community doesn't just randomly break, and that we allow things to be staged with intention, and to not surprise anyone. And so for that reason, this year for me, we're having to do MeatMiss Day a little bit differently, which is that the MeatMiss Day stuff that I'm going to have for you folks is only going to be on the experimental branch of the game. And that means if you don't use mods in H3, you're going to want to move over to the experimental branch to do it. If you do use mods and have some incompatibility, you'll have to shift over there. The one gotcha with all of this is that the experimental branch of the game is using a different format for the vault. All of your save data related to custom guns, custom scenes, etc. And anytime if you run the experimental version of the game, what's going to happen is that it will migrate a whole bunch of things over to that new format and that new way of saving things, a new directory structure. The moment you do that, you won't be able to go back to the regular branch of H3 and have all of your vault items show up. And so this just means that if you intend to move over to the experimental branch and think for any reason, like mod compatibility stuff, that you're going to want to go back, it's very, very, very important that you manually take a copy of your vault folder in case you want to completely revert it to that version of the older part of the game. It's super simple to do. You just go to your My Games folder, which should be probably under Documents, and just everything that you find in there, just select it all, copy of it, and paste it into a folder on your desktop called like My H3 Vault Backup. And that'll make sure that just nothing, in general, when it does that migration, nothing should ever be lost. It's just that the older version of the game on the main branch is not going to know where to find those files and load them. So, and some things change about their like naming. So just so that you're aware, I know this is a pain, but this is the best that I can organize all of this and still give you folks a MeatMiss while also making sure that I don't just like douse all of the mod stuff with gasoline and just light it on fire at the worst time of the year. So that is how all that works. In addition to that, speaking of mod stuff, I don't know if you folks know this, but there is this wonderful thing that the mod community puts on called ModMiss. They have really outdone themselves this year. I think they're updating it daily. Let me double check. Yeah, like all the way up till MeatMiss Day is just like a really fun scene. There's hidden gingerbread collectibles to look for. There's the 4-team Sosig arena that they've built. There's a whole bunch of chatty civvy Sosigs. Amal Santon featuring my voice. Yes, I contributed in my very small way to it. Yeah, it's some fun, and a fancy magic mirror that spits out gifts, a shooting range with targets. They've really done an incredible job for this. So if you run mods at all, or are looking for a reason to try that out for the first time, it's very straightforward to do. You can I've linked all of the stuff in the sort of description for this video, but basically you just have to install the R2 Modman mod manager and install the mod named ModMiss 2025. It's a one-click install, and all mod dependencies are downloaded automatically. So check that out. It's this I'm blown away at the amount of effort that the community puts into these sorts of things. It makes me feel really, really wonderful. So check that out. And of course, a reminder, we have a MeatMiss holiday contest ongoing right now, the Sosig style contest. It is located on the H3VR Discord. There's already been dozens of awesome entries. I want to see even more of them, and so definitely take some time to do that. So we are just, we are taking a break from the hot dog or not dog for this week, and the primary reason is probably the same reason you're like, oh, you're making these odd looks with your face today, Anton. I'm on like day 4 of like a storm of migraines that I've been dealing with. So food tastes awful right now. So I'm in like the worst place possible to evaluate whether or not something belongs on a hot dog or not, because almost nothing sounds good to have on a hot dog right now, because almost nothing sounds good to eat at all. So I am tapping out from that one. Let me tell you this, though. Definitely don't have a migraine on your hot dog. That would be a very bad condiment. I do not recommend it at all. Well, with that, I will stop rambling and return to just like laying in the dark with an ice pack on my head, just coping with this. And I will hopefully have for you folks another build of H3 next week, which will be our last experimental build before the MeatMiss update. MeatMiss will, for those of you who don't know, will go live December 25th, right in the early morning Pacific time, and that makes sure that basically the entire globe, give or take, gets to experience it on whatever is the 25th for them. I always stay up super late to do it. So, and you will find the presents underneath the tree in the MeatMiss snow globe on that date. Remember, on the experimental branch only. So, and I'll make sure to post a reminder of that, to the Steam forum and everywhere else. I'm sure a few people will be confused and dive in and find last year's stuff and be like, wait a minute, didn't we already get these? So, anywho, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all soon. Peace.